This video gonna very quickly show you how to use NetBeans IDE to create a Java game called Rock Paper Scissors Games. It's a very simple one. One game, you can input 1, 2, 3 to represent rock, paper, and scissors and play with a computer. So when you start your IDE, usually you can see a page like this. And click on File, you can new a project, make sure Java and Java application is selected, then click on Next. For the project name, you better choose a meaningful name like a rock scissors, rock paper scissors in this case, right? Then you click on Finish. You will have a default the NetBeans gonna generate a little interface like this with the code. You have a project with the and if you feel like the font is too small, you can come here for the go to the tools options and click on font and colors, and from here you can change the font. Like in my case, I increase the font a little bit so you everybody can see it. So the code, this code by default, NetBeans gonna create a package for you. The package name is the name you chose for the project name, and by default there is a rock paper scissors.java will be generated for you. See, this is your program, and this is your class name, this is the main method. So what you need to do is add your code from here. Like if I want to create a rock paper scissors game, you can start from here, right? um, so in order to create a rock paper scissors game, I need three variables. One is my hand, one is computer hand, and one is a variable called winner to hold the value who is the winner. For instance, I create your hand with an integer data type. I initialize with a 0, and also an integer variable called computer hand, and a string called the winner. By default, I assign the winner to be empty. Then I need input value. So in order to input a value, you need an import statement. The Skinner uh, package. So you need that one. So you have to declare an object of scanner. In this case, I name it as in. So this is the prompt from the computer to ask you to enter 1 for rock and the paper for 2 for papers and 3 for scissors. In other words, I use 3 integer value to represent rock paper scissors. And another hand, which is computer hand, we got it from a mass random method can give you a random value from 1 to 3. This method you can very easily find it from the instruction. You got the computer hand. So after you have your hand and the computer hand, you can lay out the logic and play the games, right? So usually what you do is you can assume if your hand equals to 1, which means if your hand is rock, what I'm gonna do, right? Then else, if your hand equals to 2, so this is the second option. Else, if your hand equals to 3, which means your hand have a 3 options, and computer hand also have a 3 options, 1, 2, 3. And so 3 by 3, which is 9, total 9 options. In other words, you have total 9 comparisons to lay out the logic of rock paper scissors game, right? So I can do this way. I first lay out my hand, your hand, which is 3 option. I finish the all the curly braces, so I can put computer hand into it. I remove all the blank line to make your code decent, easy to read, right? So for instance, if your hand equals to 1, then what's the value? What's the possible value for computer hand? So you have to check. You have to assume if computer also equals to 1, then the winner equals to tie. Tie. A tie is the winner because your hand is 1 and the computer hands is 1, so the winner is tie. Else, if computer's hands not 1, it's 2. If computer equals 2, which means computer is papers and you are rock, which means the winner equals to computer. Right? The winner equals to computer. Make sure we do have the winner. Yeah, the winner, the variable is there. So in other words, if computer is paper and your hand is 1, which is rock, which means the winner. So else, the third option for computer is if computer equals to 3, then the winner equals to you, right? Make the winner to be all uppercase. So this is a layout all the possibility for your hand equals to 1. So for your hand equals to 2, the computer gonna have the three same option, 1 or 2 or 3. But the winner, if your hand is 2, computer is 1, then the winner is you, right? You are paper and computer is rock. So if your hand is 2, computer is also 2, you are tie, right? So you do the same thing, and the third situation is computer is the winner, and you do the same thing for your hand equals to 3, which is scissors. If your hand equal to 3 scissors and the computer hands is rock, which means computer is the winner, right? You have to change the winner. And your paper, computer is scissors. No, you are scissors and computer is paper. Then you are the winner. The third situation is tie. Both are scissors. So that means when you get here, you already covered all the options, which 3 by 3, which is 9, right? So when you get here, you should have a winner. Then what you need to do is display the 3 winners. So the display statement for this situation is sys out line. What do you want to display? The very basic, I want display the winner, right? That's the only thing I want to display. So then I can compile the file and run the file. In IDE, whenever you run the file, it also compiles the file. So usually you don't need to compile it at all. In this case, I compiled it anyway, but I don't have any error. That's beautiful, right? Don't have any error. Then I can run the file. When you run the file from the NetBeans, you can see there is an output window, and ask you please enter 1 or 2 or 3. So I enter 3, and it display type. That means it works. But the display, the message, I feel like is a little too short. How about display So when you type in the NetBeans ID, it will automatically prompt you the message. So how about I say something like you entered I concat uh, your hand. In other words, I want to show the player, what you entered and what computer played. And the second one I said computer played. I should display computer's hand, right? Computer's hand. Then I put better say the winner is, right, and concat with the winner value. So this message is much better. Then I come here, click on run the file. I can run it directly. When, like I mentioned, when you run it, the ID you're gonna call the compiler first. So this time I enter 2, I hit enter, and the message is much better. You enter 2, computer played 3, which means the winner is computer. Is that true? See, let's check the logic. Computer is 3, which is scissors. You enter 2, your paper. So scissors, card, paper. That's perfect. Let's run one more time to check the logic. Run the file. I put 1, which is rock, and computer played 2, which is paper. So paper cover rock, which means computer is the winner. Let's take a look at one more of your code. You see here in each comparison, you have your hand equals to 1, and you always list your hand, computer is the same value. For your hand is 2, the same thing, right? So if I do that way, before I do anything, I can do a check like if your hand equals to computer's hand, I don't care the value, then the winner should equals to tie. And when you come here for the situation of if computer's hand, then you don't need to do this anymore, right? You don't need to do this anymore. You can delete it. And the second one, if computer hands equals 2, will be the first choice. So you can do the same thing. Remove the second one and the third one. This is redundant. So your total comparison reduced to 1, 2 here. No, 1, 2, 3. You're gonna reduce 3 times of comparison, right? For the your hand and computer hands are equal situation. So this is a little improvement. And if you're interested, you can work a little more on this game to make it more reasonable. For instance, instead of display the number, your hand, you can do something like if your hand equals to 1, I want here display rock, paper, or scissors, something like that, right? So you can directly display the information. You entered rock, you entered paper, you entered scissors instead of 1, 2, 3. So people have to convert the 1 to rock, 2 to paper, 3 to scissors, right? And thank you for watching. That's it.